Meat City, baby.
Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with another Diablo 2 Resurrected video. And today we're going to be focusing on crafting. And specifically, we're going to be crafting some Caster Amulets. These are endgame items for a number of the available builds in the game. Basically, anything that's not a melee character is going to want to use these. They require some specific materials, and if you do the right requirements, they can, and I emphasize can, not will, roll with the highest stats and the end game item. This is where you can get your GG end game items for a lot of the builds in the game. So what do you need to do in order to at least have the chance to acquire those end game items? Well, the first thing you need to do is make sure that the amulet that you're using as the base in your recipe for the crafter amulet is the right item level. And the only way to guarantee that reliably and repeatably on a mass scale is to gamble for amulets when your character is character level 93 or higher. If you do that, any amulet that you gamble from Geeds will have the correct item level to always have a chance, and again, I emphasize the chance, to roll +2 to skills. And that's kind of the thing that you need in order for this to be a GG amulet. You need to have a chance to roll +2 to skills on the item. If you're a little below 93, you may have an item that can roll +2 to skills, but you may not, and there's no way to check. So you guarantee the amulet is high enough level if it's gambled from Geeds or any of the other gambling merchants when your character is level 93 or above. So the rest of the recipe, it's a 4-item recipe. You have to put these all in the cube together. It is that amulet that we mentioned, and it has to be a magic amulet, a blue amulet. It can't be yellow or rare. That won't work in the recipe. So you have the amulet, you have a perfect amethyst. So those are valuable gems to hold on to. If you're trading bulk gems, maybe you want to hang on to the amethyst for yourself, because they can be used in this crafting recipe. Or if you want to hoard these and then sell them, they usually go for a little bit of a higher price because people use them in this crafting recipe. So you've got the perfect amethyst, the amulet itself. You need a Ral Rune, fairly common drop, fairly easy to get, and a blue or rare jewel, not the color of the jewel in the window, not what color it is, but again, it's a magic item, not a rare item. So its item description shows up in blue, not yellow. Those 4 items in the cube, hit transmute, and you will get yourself a Caster Amulet, a crafted Caster Amulet. And what does that mean? Well, it can have a lot of things, but it's guaranteed to have 3 attributes. It will have regeneration mana % increase, and that can be a range. I think it's 4 to 10. It will have plus mana, so a solid like +15, +20 to mana. It will have that stat, again, in a range. And it will have a faster cast rate between 5 and 10%. And that's the other key piece to a GG amulet, right? The first 2 building blocks, you need +2 to all skills, and you need a lot of FCR. And how much depends exactly on the build, but if you hit a 220, 2 to all skills, 20 faster cast, you at least have something, right? And then you still need some other things to fall into place for it to be a really good item, and you need everything to fall into place for it to be a GG item. So I showed you the recipe here and showed you what I made, and then what I've done over the past couple of weeks is I crafted 52 amulets, and I have them all up here on the screen so you can see the results. So you can figure, is this worth doing? And let me not hide the ball here. Is it worth doing? No, probably not. In a second here, I'll go in a little bit of detail about the best item that I crafted out of these 52. I'll talk about a little bit of the stats on how many of the items had some of these attributes to even have the chance to be really good. Long story short, look, if you're just going to casually craft a couple of these on the way because you've got the material sitting around, go for it. But I think unless you are that top tier end level player, the chances that you roll one of these with the right skills for the character that you're using, right? It's not going to work out. The odds are not in your favor. So instead, I would suggest you hoard these materials and then you trade the bulk materials to somebody else who's going to craft, because then you're guaranteed to get some return on your investment. Because crafting even 50, 52, as I've done in this video, you're not guaranteed to get anything back that will have anything of value for you. So what were the results. And I'll have these just kind of flipping through in the background, and they are the best ones are first. Again, you know, I'm not trying to hide anything or save anything for the end. I'll show you my best item that I crafted of the 52, and then we'll just step through the rest of them in order. And the best one that I got, we can see, is a +2 to all Amazon skills. It does have 10 FCR, but it's an Amazon, and you know, FCR is kind of all the classes that want FCR, Amazon might be the absolute least one. So even my best one is still kind of the wrong class. We do have all res on there, but it's very low. We do have some mana on there, but again, I mean, this amulet, it's the best one, and it's barely usable, right? Is it better than Mara's? Probably not. So, you know, if you have an Amazon and you're doing a playthrough, is this going to be better than anything that you found by yourself? Yeah, probably. It's definitely a usable amulet, but not something that you're going to be trading for getting any kind of value. And again, remember, 50 crafts went into this video, 52 to be exact, and this is the absolute best of them. So yeah, pretty disappointing results. Maybe something that you can use, but probably nothing that you're going to be able to trade or sell. And so, okay, what were the rest of kind of the big picture stats for these rolls? Again, out of 52 total rolls, exactly three of the amulets rolled a +2 to all skills for a certain character class. So +2 to Amazon skills, +2 to Necromancer skills, right? 3 times out of 52. We even had a chance at a good item because we hit the first hurdle. Now, that's not necessarily the end of the day, because instead of rolling + to all skills, you can roll to a single tree. And yes, if you roll the exact right tree for the exact right person or character or build, yeah, that might work. If you're trading to a Hammer Paladin, yeah, combat skills is probably enough instead of all Paladin skills. But again, it's a ding, right? It's lowering the notch a little bit. So how many +2 to a single tree did we get? That was another 7. So 10 in all had +2 to some kind of skill, 3 to all skills for a single character, and 7 to a single tree of a single character. And then of those, how many rolled over 10 FCR? Absolutely none. So we never even got anywhere over the bonus of a 210, which is kind of the base level for an amulet that you can gamble. When you craft, you can get up to 20, and yeah, nowhere close to that. So we did roll 20 FCR one time, and it was in a +1 to all assassin skills, so a 120. And again, of all the characters looking for FCR, assassin might be the second worst. Again, unless you're teleporting around with Enigma, which an assassin might do a little bit more frequently than an Amazon. But again, fairly disappointing. Nothing else went even a tick. Oh, I don't think anything was over 10 other than that one amulet. There might be one like really bad one in there that has no skills and maybe it rolled 15 FCR, but I don't think so. So that's it, right? I mean, if you miss that, if you don't have the right plus to skills, the amulet's pretty much garbage. I mean, it's like going to be unusable because, I don't know, how did you get to level 93 or 94 if you don't have something good in that amulet slot? So it's not like you're starting from 0. Maybe as a feeder item for a later class, but you know, if it's rolling +2 to skills, then its item level is going to be too high for any starter character that they're using, and they're going to have to grow into that item. So that's it, right? I have the rest of the items here for you to review and look at, but they're all bad, right? They're all maybe 1 skill, maybe 0 skills. They're going to have some FCR, they're going to have some resistances, but they're not usable. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight and understanding into the crafting process. Just like gambling, it is a long shot. It's a lottery ticket, right? You are not going to get good results very often. You're hoping for that lightning strike. And if lightning strikes, I mean, you could be rich. You could build a character around a single item that you craft. But yeah, are you going to win the lottery? Well, certainly not buying 52 tickets as I did here. We weren't lucky enough, and we wouldn't expect to be, right? We didn't get unlucky by not hitting gold in 52. We should probably have to triple that in order to start to feel like we should be getting something that was really worth our time and our investment. And that's a lot of resources. And again, I've been hoarding these resources for a while, building up to try and do this. And this was the result. This is what we got out of it. So should you do it if you have this stuff laying around? Yeah, sure. Take a shot. The game's fun. It's all about like trying different things to get different items. And this is one way to do it. So yeah, every once in a while, take your shot at rolling those items. But if you're trying to build wealth consistently, I would instead suggest, again, other than those super end game players, collect the resources, trade them in bulk, and slowly build up your wealth that way until you have enough where then you feel like maybe you can take the risk and go for that lottery ticket pull. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you learned a little bit about the crafting system here, and you can use that to your advantage in the end of this ladder season or maybe the start of the next ladder season. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.